We have with us today Micah Shalom of Micah Shalom and the Babylonians.
Yes, sir. How are you doing?
Good. Welcome.
Thank you.
So you're fairly new in Austin. I saw you last year at South by Southwest. You had jumped on stage with the Scotalites, and you were sitting in with them. And I said, who is this guy with these long dreads sitting in with the Scotalites? And at the time, I didn't know.
Well, I'm glad you got to know Babylonian Styley, here in Austin. Been here about 2 years or so.
2 years, okay.
And I was saying I came from Florida, and that's where I met Lester Sterling from Scotalites. And that's kind of how I got to hook up with them last South by. They were nice enough to let me jump up on 2-for-1.
And Lester's the last original member?
I believe so. He is the last of the original Scotalites now.
Wow.
So, alto sax player. So
But they keep going, huh?
Yeah, they do, and they're actually on their 50th anniversary tour right now in Europe. So
nice.
It's making me jealous that I'm not opening for them. Or
You should be, huh?
I know, right? That'd be great.
Yeah, so they kind of keep that sound alive, and I saw you at South by this year, and I saw you at the Benefit for Donnie a few weeks ago. Both times I was really impressed, and I guess the thing I saw is that, one, you really love that old sound of the horns and the Jamaican music, and two, that you respect it.
Yes,
you respect the heritage of where it's coming from.
Most definitely. Without the Scotalites and the guys who originated, the Studio One musicians and those type of guys, what we do is we only got that from them, so we're happy to try to keep that alive, especially with the horns, which is what I bring to it with the trumpet and the rest of my horn section. We got 4 horns now, so it's it's all about the horns and getting the melodies out there for people to really listen and enjoy the melody.
And you play 2 different horns, is that right?
I do. In the Babylonians, though, I mostly just play my cornet, or it's like a trumpet, but it's a little smaller. Mm-hmm. And I also play the valve trombone, though, for Mau Mau chaplains and some other folks. So that's my secondary instrument, But got to big up the trombone in reggae, like we were saying.
I love it. I love that sound. It's beautiful. So you've got a couple albums out already, 2 albums.
We do. The first one was called Unity Swing, and we were blessed to have such guys like Studio One musician Cedric Imbrooks and Kevin Batchelor from the Scotalites at the time come sit in with us on that album. Mm-hmm. And then our latest EP that came out a little less than 2 years ago was called The World, and that one has our newer stuff, title track The World, and all that kind of thing, and it just really represents where we're going and all the stuff we're trying to do and bring up. We even have some even newer music than that, but it's not recorded yet, so we're trying to get that out this year. So
soon come, huh?
Soon come, yes.
All right, so let's hear a track from that new album now. Let's hear New Flame. And what is your concept for a new flame? Is this a love thing?
No, New Flame, actually, it's actually a political thing.
Okay.
New Flame, Old Fire is the lyric in the track, and New Flame kind of signifies like what the new battles that are happening every day, like every time you see a bombing or a embassy or whatever gets sieged or anything like that, but the Old Fire is really the same battle that we've been fighting all along, and I kind of relate it back to the Middle East, that there's been this conflict for years and ages and thousands of years we've been fighting, but every time that there's a new flame or a new conflict, it seems like it's something new, but it's all the same, and we really had to work out that initial issue. And if we can work that out, put out that old fire, then maybe we can extinguish the new flame.
Okay. All right. Micah Shalom and the Babylonians, and here's New Flame.
Taxpayers are paying. We need peacekeepers, but we don't want no pretending. New flame. but we're burning on fire. Rich get rich, now the poor is staying poorer. Don't get greedy, you get caught with desire. We feel the pressure, now the battle's getting hotter. New flame, but we're burning on fire. Who shot first? Can you remember? What's done is done, yeah. History has been written. What we do next, you know, is our chance to teach the youths them. New flame, but we're burning on fire. Youths growing up, they don't know no other. War keep going, they see it on the TV. We got to know what is the reason for this fighting. It's the same old battle being fought every day. That's what my brother said. We can't solve the problem if we don't start right away. We got to start today. We got to be the change that we want to see in this world we're living in. For the sake of our brothers, our sisters, and children too. And children's children. New flame, but we're burning old fire. We're moving forward, but we never get farther. War makes the money, and the taxpayers are paying. We need peacekeepers, but we don't want no pretending. New flame, but we're burning on fire. Rich get rich, now the poor is staying poorer. Don't get greedy, you get caught with desire. We feel the pressure, now the battle's getting hotter. New flame, but we're burning on fire. Who shot first? Can you remember? What's done is done, yeah. History has been written. What we do next, you know, is our chance to teach the youths them. New flame, but we're burning on fire. Youths growing up, they don't know no other. War keep going, we see it on the TV. We got to know what is the reason for this fight. It's the same old battle being fought every day. That's what my brother said. We can't solve the problem if we don't start right away. We got to start today. We got to be the change that we want to see in this world we're living in. For the sake of our brothers, our sisters, and children too. And children's children. New flame, we're burning, 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 burning. It's a new flame for a new day. New day, day.
That's New Flame, Micah Shalom and the Babylonians, and we're here with Micah today talking about his music and his career and what's going on. Now, you mentioned earlier the Scottalites, and the next tune we're going to hear is called Don Drummond.
Yes, Don Drummond was the original trombone player of the Scottalites, and this was actually one of the first songs that I had when I started the Babylonians. It was one of my original tunes that I was waiting to have a band to play it in. I had a lot of original instrumentals and reggae stuff, and this one kind of falls into that category, and I wrote it for Don Drummond, of course, from the original Scatolite. And
so you played trombone on this one?
I actually do play a valve trombone on this guy, yeah. So even though I can't play the slide like Don Drummond, I still wanted to have the good sound, so I put the valve on it.
Nice. All right, here we go. Don Drummond and Micah Shalom. Don Drummond, that's Micah Shalom and the Babylonians. So would you say that's more like ska or more like a boogie kind of sound? It's really early ska, right?
Early ska, yeah. Definitely ska. Going for that sound, the early Jamaican sound.
I mean, what do you call it? You call it blue beat, or I mean, what do you call it?
I would call that one ska, but I guess it goes it's similar to the blue beat, so it's very close into that style. But for me, it's got that ska feel. Yeah,
That's really sweet.
indeed.
Now, next we're going to hear a song that I was happy to hear you guys do the other night, St. James Infirmary, which has some type of New Orleans connection or roots. Is that right?
For sure. We took it, the first time I heard this song, it was by Louis Armstrong. I think there are maybe some older versions, but that was the one that really made me love this tune and want to play it as well. And also I have a good friend in New York City now, a trumpet player named Jason Prover, who originally arranged this song for us to do in ska music.
Okay.
So it was his fault. It was all his fault.
And tell me about the lyrics and the background of the song.
Well, the lyrics for this one, I actually wrote a little piece of a lyric to this one that is a little bit different than what Louis Armstrong sang. But the background is, it's all about woman in the mortuary, your girl, she found, bad time, she's dead, and you got to keep going,
Wow.
And, it's kind of like, so for me, I put in a lyric that's different than the original, was when I die, dress me up in my best suit, second line up and down the street, shout my name from the rooftop for all the angels up in heaven I'm gonna meet.
Nice.
So that was my addition to the track, but it's actually not even on our recording, because we had a clarinet player in the studio with us, Mr. Robinson, Stephen Robinson, and he ended up playing a beautiful clarinet solo over the same area where I might have sang it, and so instead we just went with the clarinet solo because it sounded so cool and spooky.
Nice.
Yeah,
Clarinet
yeah.
and reggae.
There you go.
Yeah. So you do the lyrics live then, huh?
We do the lyrics live.
So
yes.
people have to come check you out.
You gotta catch it live. It's all about live these days.
Of course. Okay, here we go. St. James Infirmary. All right, we just heard St. James Infirmary, and we're going to hear some more music from Micah Shalom. And next up, we're going to hear Egyptian Walk.
Yes.
What do you want to tell me about this song?
Well, Egyptian Walk, it was another one of the instrumental arrangements that I had to bring to the group. And on this special version, we actually have Cedric M. Brooks, who is a Studio One musician, tenor saxophone player, and former Scotolite as well, who was blessed us with his ability to just come in, and I think he played a solo here, and he played it so nice. We just made him do it again just so we could hear him play again.
It was that sweet, huh?
Yeah. So respect to Cedric,
Nice. So next up, we're going to hear Egyptian Walk. So we're talking with Micah Shalom and the Babylonians, or at least Micah from the Babylonians today. And so you play two different horns. You arrange all this music and put it together. You have the band. You're the band leader. What else do you do in your other non-band life?
Well, I do have a day job, and that would be running around to all the middle schools and high schools in the area and helping out their band programs. So I talk to a lot of the band directors. They all waiting for the dreadlock guy to come around with their reeds and whatever repairs they might need for, for their day-to-day in the band room. So I try to help the kids in some kind of way. Not being an educator myself, I'll do some private lessons, but mostly I like to be able to help in some kind of way. So this way I can give back a little bit and also make a couple extra bucks to keep me playing my music, which is the true passion, you know.
Mm-hmm, right. And do you play with other bands besides your own project?
I do, actually. I've been in Don Chani since I moved to town. I've also been playing with Cilantro Boombox of late, with Felix Pacheco. Mm-hmm. Also, let's see, the other ones, I play with the Inverters as well, another ska band. Mm-hmm. And let's see, and of course Mau Mau Chaplains every Wednesday. You can see me up at Flamingo. Mm-hmm. check out the Mau Mau's. That's where I play the valve trombone the most.
Nice. Okay.
And hope I'm not leaving anyone out. That's the main stuff. That's the main stuff right there.
So you're pretty much a music guy.
Yeah, I try to play as much as I can, and not just my own project, but I'll play with anybody who wants to hear a trumpet in their music, or a trombone for that matter. So,
Cool.
happy to do it. But of course, the true passion comes back to Babylonians and playing, all the original arrangements and all the stuff that, of course, I've had the biggest hand in helping to create. So.
And how did you come up with the name for the project? Is Micah your real name?
Micah Shalom is my real name. Shalom is actually my middle name.
Okay.
So it was a God-given name by my parents.
Wow. Cool.
Jewish hippies that they were named me Micah Shalom, and Micah was a prophet from the Old Testament, and Shalom, of course, means peace. So, and Micah in the Old Testament, Micah, his biggest quote was, "You shall beat your swords into plowshares, and your spears into pruning hooks, and nation shall not lift up sword to harm another nation." So it's all about peace.
Wow.
Which really fits my message as well, which is why part of the reason, at least, that we put my name in the group title, because it portrays the right message, and that's what we're going for.
Good fit.
Yes.
So now we know the full story.
There you go.
Next. Nice. So next we're going to hear the Irie dub.
Yes, Irie dub.
Tell us about the Irie dub.
So the Irie dub came from the Irie Jam that we had been playing with our good friend and collaborator Ja Brandon from Jamaica, and you'll hear him on the track. He is the toaster, Jamaican fellow on the track who's singing, along with me doing the backups. And it was just a track we started playing one day. Brandon started coming and toasting over it, and then we took it to the studio. We slowed it down a little bit, and we dubbed it up. So this is the Irie dub.
All right, Irie dub.
Take it again.
Take another draw. Take another draw. One draw. Take another draw.
Take one draw. I make it Irie.
Take one draw. Take another draw. Take one draw.
That's really sweet sound. So we're going to hear an Afrobeat track in a minute. But before we close things out, I want to talk to you about how people can catch up with you online. You have a website, Facebook. What's the best way for people to link with you?
Best way for us, we got the Facebook, and we've got a Reverb Nation. Those are the two easiest ways to get in touch with the Babylonians. And you just look it up with Micah Shalom, MICAHSHALOM, and the Babylonians. You can find us either Reverb Nation or Facebook. You can also find our music on iTunes, Amazon, CD Baby. We're out there. So
Wherever fine music is sold.
yes, wherever fine music is sold.
Nice. Okay. So what do you want to tell us about this next track? This is one of the Afrobeat tracks you do called Nation.
Yes, and this was actually the first Afrobeat track that I wrote in collaboration with a couple other guys back in Florida, and it actually took me a couple years to actually write this full track, and it's the full thing is 15 minutes long, big old Afrobeat sound, and it kind of went through a lot of changes and before it got to its final state that you're going to hear, and it really just kind of incorporates a lot of the horns that I've been working on for a long time, and the message of this one kind of goes along with the message from my name, you know. The same quote that I said earlier is actually in this song. So, you know, it's all about peace and how to relate it back to the world that we're living in, you know.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you for your time, Mike, and thanks for coming by and talking with us today. And we wish you all the best with the Babylonians and your new coming projects and album and
well, thank you, man.
Whatever else you get your hands into.
I really appreciate y'all having us on, and big up KAZI for putting us on the air.
Awesome. All right, here we go. This is Nation, Micah Shalom, and the Babylonians.
Shall sit every man under his vine, under his fig tree. He shall sit every man under his vine, under his fig tree. He shall sit every man under his vine, under his fig tree. He shall sit every man under his vine, under his fig tree.